Okay. This is a meeting of the Douglas Cemetery Commission. I am Betsy Youngsma, this is Sarah Geeman, and Lee Lyons, the treasurer. And we're here to discuss the Pine Grove tree removal request. And so here we are.
Okay. So I kind of just put together a brief summary. So we received an email from Adam Furno, the town's tree warden, on July 30th, informing us that a resident at 19 Gilboa will be installing solar panels with Sunrun Solar and request to remove 4 large maples that are on the lot line that's shared with Pine Grove Cemetery. The trees are along the back corner of 19 Gilboa and 22 Cook Street. Elevon from S1 Tree will be doing the proposed tree work. Adam, the tree warden, checked out the trees. He did see soft spots on them, and he did say he thought they did look in poor health. I also spoke with Elevon, who will be doing the tree removal, and he also stated that the trees were in poor health. So I also spoke to Kelly Sullivan, who owns 22 Cook Street, and she says the maple trees there do drop large branches. So she is actually concerned that they drop them very close to her garage. So she did say when I spoke to her on the phone that she does support the removal of the trees behind her. I also wanted an outside opinion, so I contacted Fopama Tree, and they sent out a certified arborist, Matt, and him and I did a walk through the cemetery, looked at the trees there that are being requested to be removed. He did say they're about 125 to 150 years old, and he agreed that they were in poor health and that it would be best for them to come down. So I did do that. The town administrator also asked that we make sure S1 Tree has insurance, liability insurance. So I did get in contact with them, and they did mail me the certificate, which is in the packet I gave you guys today. And he also asked that we make sure there is no memorial significance to those trees, you know, similar to the World War II monument trees
Right.
that represent people. I don't believe those trees have a memorial significance. I believe they were probably put in around the time that the original iron fence was put in, around 1908. So they are pretty old, but they don't hold a memorial significance in that way. And I did ask Elevon if they would need to access the cemetery in order to remove those trees, and he said that they would be removing the trees through the 19 Gilboa Street property, and they would not enter the cemetery with their equipment. And that is my summary. So anyone
Very good job.
have any questions or thoughts?
Who's paying for the removal?
So the removal is being paid for through the solar company, I believe, so it's not going to cost the town anything. So it's basically the resident getting the solar is, you know, responsible for that. And I believe the solar company is kind of giving an incentive or whatnot. I'm not really sure, but the town won't be responsible to pay for it.
And what if parts of the tree fall into the cemetery when they're taking them down?
That's why Matt asked that I check to see that they have liability insurance in case they do
Right.
damage anything in the cemetery
But will-
when removing the tree.
They'll also be removing anything?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they will. So I don't know, if there's no more questions, I guess I'll make a motion on the removal. So I move to approve the removal of the 4 maple trees at the rear corner of Pine Grove Cemetery. I did give a map for reference. That's in the packet. That's a survey, the town survey map from 2007. The trees are marked as 3 36-inch maples and 1 22-inch maple at the back corner of the cemetery, nearest 19 Gilboa Street and 22 Cook Street lot lines, with work to be done by S1 Tree Service at no cost to the town, with access and removal to be done from 19 Gilboa property side with no equipment to enter the cemetery grounds. And that is my motion. Anyone want a second?
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All set.
Okay. All right, and then there was only a couple of things that I thought we may want to consider after the trees are removed. So since those trees do serve as a boundary line on the back of the cemetery, the chain doesn't actually continue between them, the granite post with the chain. So I was thinking it might be a good idea, once the trees are removed, to replace the chains there in order to maintain that rear boundary, just to prevent encroachment or any other thing that might happen with the lot line not being defined any longer. And I also thought, since we're removing
Are
these
the
large...
granite markers still there?
So I want to say, I think so. They may be a little further apart than most of the boundary, because they actually skipped over that section of trees when they were putting in the chain. So there...
The chain was done, I think, in the 80s and 90s.
I want to say the
Shirley
old...
Cooney talking about it.
Yeah, I want to say the old fence was still there when I moved here, or at least part of it was, and part of it was like gone completely, but I can't remember. But I know around 2005, we still had a little bit of the old fence left, and then I'm not sure what year they put the chains on. But
Yeah, I remember Shirley Cooney talking
but
about
the
it.
trees are also, some of the granite markers are actually like almost in the tree, so I'm not sure how that's going to be dealt with when they go to remove the tree, but if the granite markers are still present, we could just put the chain across, and if not, we may have to maybe get 1 or 2 granite markers to string the chain along. Although I do know we have some of the old granite slabs, like they replaced some of those granite markers at some point, and we have some are newer than the older ones, but we do have some of the older ones in a big pile, and they're actually like in the cemetery, kind of on the border with the neighbor, where the line is between Elaine's property and the cemetery. There's a big stack of like those granite pillars that they had pulled out that were the old ones. So I don't know if any of those are reusable, but they've actually just been sitting there for a bunch of years, so. But anyway, so we might want to consider, continuing the chain or just something in order to mark that boundary. And then my other thought was that we might want to add some small native shade trees back there, be they other sugar maples or something else, just because since we're removing something, maybe we should put something back.
Yes, I think so.
Newer saplings. And that was my only thoughts on that, so.
Oh, those are good thoughts. Yeah, I went down and looked at them.
Yeah, they are nice trees, they are very beautiful, but the arborist did explain that they're kind of nearing the end of their life, and they're what they call lion's tailing, where all the branches and the weight are at the top of the tree, and
Yep.
he said it's more risky as far as, the tree falling in a storm or something of that nature, and he did
Well,
say.
paying for somebody else to do it.
Yeah, exactly, right. He did say that's probably like a $10,000 job. So he said, it is kind of a favor to the
Right.
town to
Yeah.
have it done. As sad as it is, I know one of those trees is the first to turn every fall, the
Yep.
first to turn.
The one behind the house, though, because we were trying to figure out why they wanted to take all of them down. 'Cause, I don't know, the lighting might be, whatever.
Right,
But the big maple to the back of that house looked a lot healthier than the other 3.
yeah. I did ask the arborist about that one because, I was kind of trying to see if there was any any way that we could just trim it or so on and so forth. And he told me that that large tree, when I went out with the certified arborist, he said that that large tree there, even though it looks like it's really healthy, he said it's actually two trees that grew together. So he said that actually creates a weak point in the middle.
Yep, it does.
So that was his concern with that large one. And so since I was glad I got his opinion, at least I
Yeah.
felt like I did my due diligence and
Yep.
saw if there was a way around it, but it seems like it's probably the best, so.
Yep, that's fine.
All right, and I will let S1 Tree know. I'll send them a message that they're all set to go. All right, and I guess,
Is
Does
that
anyone
it?
have
Anybody
anything
else have
else?
anything they want to bring up?
Did the highway department finally remove those branches that were up?
I don't believe so. I think there's still some branches underneath the large pine. There's like some,
Okay.
Oh, the
some
one
dead
on the left?
branches.
No.
Yeah, the one in the middle, like the big pine
Oh.
tree. Yeah, it's got a little bit of branches that came down under it. Maybe we could send them another reminder message to see if they can stop by and pick those up.
Well, I asked them 3 times, but each time they said yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're just a little busy, I guess.
Yeah, they are.
but-
They are busy.
Very busy.
Right. Mhm. All right. Anything else?
No, not that I can
Nope.
think of. Oh, do we need to approve the minutes from last meeting?
We'll do them at our next meeting, our
Okay.
Yeah.
regular scheduled meeting.
All right,
Yeah, this one was just for this, I think.
Yeah, yep, this was just a
special meeting.
special
Special
meeting
meeting.
for the request. Okay, well, motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at, I don't know what time,
11:21.
11:21.